What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All Man United fans live in the past.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back to We Are Soccer. I hope you're ready for some fun. We got lots and lots to talk about. First off, did you like our new intro? It's something we worked on this past week. We figured we needed something a little different, a little fun, that showed what this show is about. I don't know if we nailed it 100%, but let us know. It's fun. It is what it is. On today's show, we're talking about what a wild and crazy weekend in the Premiership it was. I mean, Chelsea draw, Liverpool gets smashed, Man City lose, Arsenal lose, Villa lose, some other results we'll chit-chat about. Seattle Sounders will travel all the way to Morocco to lose in the dying minutes. You name it, we're talking about it. Let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about, and be sure to let us know your thoughts on these topics. Before we kick off with all the fun and all the soccer talk, I want to make sure everybody realizes that without the help of certain friends, this show would not be possible. Thank you, Soccer World. Soccer World has been with us for a very long time. Very much appreciate their help. SoccerWorld.net is where you can find them, purchase all the gear, all your soccer gear online. Or if you're in the Metro Detroit area, they've got 3 great, fabulous locations. I've been to all of them. They are all awesome. Also, big thank you to Next Level Training. Aaron Bird and his group of guys, the best trainers, not only in Metro Detroit, not only in the Midwest, but in the entire country. There are players from around the country who travel here just to train with Next Level Training. Both of my kids also train at Next Level Training because, as I said, Aaron and his group of guys are the best around. Next Level Training. And another fun friend we've picked up this past week, superfanpacks.com. If you're into sports cards and sports memorabilia, visit them at superfanpacks.com. We did a video this past week where superfanpacks.com, I'll say the name again, sent us some cards, sent us some boxes. Oh my gosh, some awesome cards. I got a signed John McGinn card in my pack. I am thrilled. We will show you a couple of those a little later. Please, if you haven't, go ahead and visit them and watch that video. All right, we are -1 of the group today, unfortunately, but he will be coming in soon. Brooks over there at the kids' table. It's just you. No Nate. He's coming soon. He is coaching. How are you, Brooks? How's the weekend, buddy?
I'm good. Weekend's good. Last night we celebrated some friends for my birthday for last week. They kind of pushed it a week back because I celebrated my siblings on my actual birthday. So that was good. What else did I do? Oh, watch some soccer. Obviously, watched
of course,
yes,
as you would, right?
Yes. Watched a little EPL. I watched the Villa game there, Craig. Villa, Leicester City.
Too soon, Brooks.
Sorry.
Too soon.
Sorry. Yeah. So watched a little bit of that. Obviously, watched the FIFA Club World Cup for the Seattle Sounders playing Al Ahly in Morocco. So that was a good one. And just kind of worked on some other soccer-esque stuff. Preparing my scouting schedule for spring 2023, so this will be interesting. So, but I can't complain. It's warming up. It's 40 degrees now, so we maybe go out and play some soccer if the snow melts, right?
I'm hoping that snow melts pretty quick. Yeah. Indoor soccer is great and everything, but I definitely prefer outdoor soccer.
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about it. I know you're itching. Brooks, to talk about that Seattle Sounders Al Ahly game that happened a couple of days ago. Oh, wait, was it yesterday? When was it? I'm losing track. 2 days ago?
Saturday.
So
yes,
yesterday. Christ, it's so much has happened in the past couple of days. I can't even keep track. You, Nate, and I were watching that game, not together on our own couches, but texting. We had a little bit of a discussion, had a little bit of an argument.
Yes.
It was an enjoyable game. Unfortunately, Seattle came out on the wrong end. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Big news this weekend, just the results, just the crazy results that happened in some of the games. It started on Friday where Chelsea played Fulham at home. New owner, Todd Bowley, in the stands, caught texting quite a bit on his phone. I mean, that's just silly him.
You gotta watch the game if you're gonna be there. You know,
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
texting about? Like,
Yeah, I know.
What is it?
He was texting if there's any new players. I think he was texting like, did the window really close, or can I buy new players? And these players we bought here for, I think what did they spend, like 200 million, 250 million pounds.
Yes.
They weren't exactly performing.
Correct.
Mudryk, who cost 90 million, was yanked off at halftime. He was having a nightmare, an absolute nightmare of a game. Just does not look up to pace right now. And when I say that, I say it with a grin on my face because he is actually one of the quickest players in the Premiership. I think he's clocked, if I'm not mistaken, he clocked the fastest time of any Premiership player.
Yep.
Nutty. In his first game, he did that last week against Liverpool. But he just doesn't look like the speed of the game he's up to that. And it's going to take him a little time because he is young and the Premiership is the quickest league in the world.
Yep.
I will say that Enzo Fernandez, the 120 million pound midfielder
From
from Benfica, he now that is a crazy transfer. That is a crazy transfer, is it not?
Isn't that the third Benfica player they signed? Benfica had 3 big transfers, I think, this
Yeah,
past.
you're right. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was they signed, but yeah,
They were one of the 3 that they got one of them. Yeah.
Do you know who the winner of that transfer is, Brooks?
Benfica.
No. I believe it's River Plate. River Plate sold him to Benfica. Benfica then sold him to Chelsea, but there was a sell-on clause.
Yeah.
In the summer, he went to Benfica.
Yeah.
And then, in this window, he's come here after a great World Cup, but there was a sell-on clause of, I want to say 10% or 20% or 25%, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they earned 35 million euros, pounds, whatever it is, without doing anything.
That's huge for their club.
But I will say that I thought Enzo played well.
Yep.
He looked like he's going to be fitting into that team pretty well. Up to speed, knocked the ball around, won the ball, didn't do anything silly, didn't pull a João Felix, meaning coming on in the first game, going studs up and getting sent off.
For a red card,
and then with a direct red and now missing 3 games.
Yes.
It's going to take all of these players, all these new players, quite a bit of time to fit into the league, fit into Chelsea's system. Brooks, now let me ask you. They have dropped. I want to say Chelsea right now are in 10th. Let's take a quick look at the league table here.
Let's look at the table.
They're 9th. Sorry, Liverpool are in 10th. Villa quickly there behind in 11th. But 30 points after 21 games. Do you think they can climb the table? Do you think they can get into Europe? Or I'll put the table back up for you. Do you think they can get into Europe? Top 4 goes to Champions League. 5 and 6 go to Europa. 7's in the conference. They got a chance, right? They're only what are they? 10 points out of 4th.
Let's be honest here. So I think the topic of discussion for the last couple of weeks and on our Facebook group has, who's going to finish lower because they're both having horrendous seasons is Chelsea and Liverpool. You have Crystal Palace who's found a little form. I know they lost to Man United, but they've kind of found themselves a little bit. Leicester City has done, decently well. And then you have Wolverhampton Wanderers with the new coach, that Lopetegui, who's really kind of turned that team around. And, they just beat Liverpool. So, there are teams creeping up behind them. And some of the bottom tier teams, end up being some of the big boys from time to time. Would we be shocked if all of them finish below 10? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm not surprised if they do.
Right. No, I think... that has been the big discussion. I would love to hear it in the comments, actually. Who finishes lower, Liverpool or Chelsea? Because this weekend was a horrendous display from both of those clubs. And if you didn't see the result from the Liverpool game, They lost 3-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. 3-0 to Wolves. They were absolutely. It could have been worse. Gapco does not look like he's up for the Premiership yet. Just can't get a hold of the ball and play properly. They look. Mo Salah is not the same player. He is not the same player, and I think a lot of it is because teams are focusing on him because they don't have to worry about Darwin Núñez. They don't have to worry about Gapco. And last year, they had to worry about Sadio Mane, who's now not there anymore. There was pace on those wings. It's just not quite happening. I don't think Thiago is pulling his weight in the middle. We know Virgil van Dijk's still a bit injured. Alisson looks off the pace. Matip, I'm sorry, not a good player. Liverpool fans, you have got to be really worried right now. Both Liverpool and Chelsea supporters, you guys are going to miss out on a lot of money by missing out on Champions League. But in the summer, when you try to get new players, this is more for Liverpool obviously right now, people ain't going to want to go there. You think you have a shot at Jude Bellingham this summer? You're not playing Champions League soccer next season, so he's not going to want to play there.
So what do you think happens with Klopp? It's like it's a thing. 7 years, his seventh year, he never does well.
He's earned the right to stay. We'll swap over to the kids' table, who now
He's going to Stuttgart.
Guest. Welcome,
Klopp's
Nate.
going to
Hi.
Stuttgart. Hey, what do you mean welcome? I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Just over here.
We know you were coaching. It's all good, man.
How are you
got
guys?
stuff you gotta
I
do.
feel
Good,
like shit.
buddy.
How are you guys? If
Good,
I
good.
puke all of a sudden, just
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, you stay in the corner over there. Keep away from us.
Cool,
We don't need
cool.
to get that.
Did Brooks get a cool entrance, or did I?
No.
He did his own entrance.
I did my own thing, which isn't as good
His
as
own
yours.
entrance. Everybody got to see our new.
I feel like I failed you.
Got to see our new
You
intro
didn't.
video, which
Okay.
we displayed. I hope.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. I mean, I hope.
And to the left of
people
me.
liked it.
He scores more than Darwin Núñez. He's less of a crisis mode than Chelsea right now, and he has just as much money as a Todd Bowley. Ladies, he's single, always willing to mingle. The one, the only, Brooks Lambier Jr. There's always two. Now, if we splice that in the beginning, no one will ever know because we're not live now, right?
We are unfortunately still live. Yes, Nate. Hi. How are you? Welcome to the live show.
Oh, live,
Yes,
huh? Oh, I
live,
thought that
live.
was always a joke.
So Klopp to Stuttgart?
Wasn't a joke.
Or Klopp
don't
to
know.
U.S. men's national team?
No, come on, guys. Let's be serious here.
Ugh.
Let's be serious. I'm not that sick. I can still think a little bit.
So Nate, just we'll catch you up here, just so you're aware on topic today.
Oh, I'm all caught up. Listen,
Oh,
United's looking good. Chelsea sucks. Liverpool sucks. Nate cries every time Stuttgart steps on the field. Munich looked awesome. MLS is back in full swing. Did I hit all the high points?
That's it. I guess
Okay,
we can
got
close
it.
the show.
All right,
Well
and
done.
there we
All
go.
right, everybody
There
go
we
home,
go.
grab a beer. We'll
All right.
sit around and talk. So yeah, obviously the weekend started off with I don't want to say a crazy result, but Fulham, who have been playing very well and are pretty high up the table, drawing with the brand new Chelsea team of all these brand new players who it's going to take time to gel. It's going to take a lot of time for them to get into place, understand the league, understand the pace of the league, understand what Graham Potter wants of them.
If that ever happens.
If it happens, you're absolutely right. If it happens,
I have a theory.
I want to hear your theory. Go for it.
God, I didn't bring my tinfoil again. Damn, should have brought my tinfoil.
Yeah, I thought you always carried that tinfoil hat.
Yeah, I apologize again. So my theory is they've loaded up the squad. So if Potter fails, he's just gonna be the scapegoat and be fired.
I can see that.
Yep.
It's like we bought you everyone that you needed, and
Oh
if
no,
you
we
can't
bought you all
perform,
this talent. You couldn't perform.
are they
get
that?
out.
Are they are those players that talented though?
But here's one we don't know because they never played in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, everyone who's hot to trot on Enzo Fernandez. Look at the statistical record of players who do good in a World Cup and don't actually perform well for club teams, and it's quite high. You can't buy it. You can't buy a player just based on one tournament.
Yeah,
Doesn't work.
and that happens after every World Cup, right?
Yep.
It happens after every World Cup, and
That's
all
why
of a sudden
Cody
these teams
Gakpo got
rush
sold.
out
Yep.
and they buy these players that had a good tournament and fit in with the World Cup, and
My prediction is
It's
Enzo
unusual.
Fernandez will never ever live up to the contract that he just signed.
That's a big
not to say
contract.
that he's bad. This is the problem with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire will never live up to that contract that he signed, and that's why he's always criticized no matter what, because his contract was huge that United put him up, and
Sure.
he doesn't perform to that level.
Sure. It was a bit of a shock to see a 0-0 draw there. I expected some goals in that game. It is what it is. The other result this weekend, the other shocking results, obviously Man City getting down Some of us may have had money on that game. Oh,
How much money did we lose, Mr. Hearn?
Oh, like $12. I was chasing it. I was chasing it.
It's more the pride.
I was absolutely chasing it. It didn't work out well for me. I want to get to Tottenham Hotspur. 100%, I think, deserved that all 3 points. Harry Kane does
leading goal scorer of Tottenham history, right?
267 goals. He passes Jimmy Greaves in the all-time leading.
Yeah.
He's
gonna be
206. Well, think about this. 267 goals in 304 games.
That's really good.
In the Premiership.
That's a consistent goal scorer right there.
He's gonna be awesome.
And people give him too much
He's
shit.
going to be awesome when he grows up.
No, he's gonna be awesome for Munich next year.
Yeah, I could see
That's
it.
a rumor that has not died.
Yeah.
It has
That
not
is a
died, and
rumor
I
that has not
100%
died.
am buying into that. Absolutely. Because
You want to go win a trophy
you have to. You absolutely have to.
And they need a striker, and they're willing to spend money.
and look at the players.
And
the
I think he
talent.
would take less money, honestly, to go win
Look at
trophies.
Look at the talent that's on that team right now.
Can I say something that's
Yeah.
probably a little controversial, but maybe you'll agree with it? I don't know. Guys,
Dun, let me hold on. Dun dun dun! Shocking news.
Barcelona first. I'm sorry. No, excuse me. Barcelona. Bayern Munich, number 1 in first spot right now in the Bundesliga. Correct.
Yeah, by 1 point. It's
They
pretty-
have
it's real
Sadio
close.
Mane.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's
been
been
injured.
injured.
Yeah.
He's been injured.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are drastically missing Lewandowski and his style of play and how he played in that team.
Mm-hmm.
And a great fit would be Harry Kane because they are very similar. They do not touch the ball up the field that much, but if they do, they lay it off and then they turn and run to go into the box. They are players you want to have the ball on their foot in the box and nowhere else on the field. So put them in the box and they will find a way to put the ball in the net. I don't want them anywhere else on the field with the ball. And Sadio Mane is not that guy. Sadio Mane is the guy to pick the ball up in the middle of the field and run with it, dice some people and lay it off, and then maybe score a goal here and there. I think Harry Kane goes there. They become unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, you got not just Mane. You got Sané.
But Sané's not. He is. I think it's a direct replacement for Lewandowski, and I think
Right. No,
Bayern
but
Munich
I'm just
should
talking
have
about-
made it happen last summer.
I'm just talking about the speed you have on the wings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Alphonso
speed.
Davies, Sané, Sadio Mane, Kinsey Coleman, who had 2 amazing goals today.
Yeah.
That was at the Casillo, the right back now that we picked up from City. By the way, that crossed the ball in for Coleman's goal.
Cancelo.
Yeah.
João Cancelo.
Yeah.
What
That's a good
a pickup that was. What
He's
an absolutely
phenomenal.
brilliant pickup that
And
was
then,
by
and
Bayern.
then you got Gnabry, and then you got Jamal Musiala, and you got speed for days.
Yeah. But what you're
Alphonso
missing?
Davies when he's healthy.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Canadian.
Alphonso
The
Davies.
Canadian. But
It hurt me to say it, but it's
what they're missing.
Canada.
What they're missing is that focal point in the
goal
middle,
scorer.
goal scorer, the focal point who can head the ball, who can receive the ball, and one-touch goal, like Harry Kane does.
And Chapo Moting has stepped into that, but he's injured. But he's not Harry Kane.
He's not Harry Kane.
He's
He's
not.
not Lewandowski. He's not Harry Kane. But I think you could. Is it too much of a step to say Lewandowski and Harry Kane? 'Cause, I mean, to me. Give me either one. I'd rather have Harry Kane because he's younger. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
same level of
Yeah.
player.
Same style, similar styles of play, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say
So-
probably Lewandowski probably scores a little better with both feet than Kane does. He's more heavy right-footed, but Harry's fox in the box type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I like to tell people, and as I said earlier here, there are certain players who anywhere on the field, I don't want them on the ball. And the number one culprit of that for me is, if you guys remember, the Chelsea striker Didier Drogba.
Yeah.
I
He
don't
was
want him
drifted
on the
too low
ball
sometimes.
anywhere
Yeah.
except for in the box.
Yeah.
You find him in the box, guarantee it's a goal.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. Put the ball on his foot, put the ball on his head, it's a goal. Same with Harry Kane. Pretty much the same with Lewandowski, who's gone over to Barcelona and is doing the same thing there. He scores goals. I don't think he had any goals in the game where they played today, 3-0, but he was played well. He laid the ball. I think he had an assist. Gavi and Pedri over there had goals, and man, are they playing well.
Yeah.
So lots of interesting results. Let me get back to.
I think the Leeds one was pretty interesting.
Well,
It was
yeah,
in Nottingham Forest.
And you know who the player of the match was? The newly picked up goalkeeper,
Keylor Navas.
Oh yeah,
Keylor Navas
from
was
PSG.
the player of the match. Yeah,
Yep.
PSG keeper now on. I believe he's on loan officially.
Yes.
At Nottingham Forest.
He might just be that like linchpin that they need to.
Absolutely.
To keep him sitting above the relegation point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, listen, he was everything for the Costa Rican national team. That's why they were so good for a lot of years, mixed with some other field players. But I mean, Keylor Navas was a proven goalkeeper at Real Madrid. I mean, he was there when they won a lot of things.
He would still be playing. He would still be the number one goalkeeper at PSG if it wasn't for Donnarumma, who had an absolutely tremendous Euros last year for Italy, and is younger, so and a lot taller, bigger, but. Yeah, absolutely. So Keylor Navas needed to get out. Now, going to Nottingham Forest is not exactly a top-notch team. You don't.
Well, he joins the other 30 players.
Hey, it's a Champions League team from like
1978, yes.
Yeah,
but
it's
you don't
more than-
go,
it's
you
more
know
what
what, I
cities
aspire from PSG to
PSG.
Nottingham Forest. But what he will get is because he's on loan, he will get a chance to show that, yes, he can play in the best league in the world. And he's going to face a lot of shots. That is something that he's going to get. He's going to face a lot. He is showcasing himself for a transfer in the summer. I do not think he plays at Nottingham Forest past the summer, but good for him. Good for him for saying, you know what, I'm willing to go to a team who's in a relegation battle. And I think it's going to be fun to watch him.
I think realistically, Nottingham Forest can't afford him.
Oh, no, yeah, they can't afford
too
his
much,
salary.
Yeah, way too
No,
much.
you're right. Absolutely, 100%. You can't afford his salary. On the other hand, Leeds. Jesse Marsh is in trouble. Our man on the ground, Paddy Miller, who goes to all the Leeds games. And
He's not happy.
Our man on the ground.
We got boots on the
got-
street,
we got
boy.
boots
Boots on the ground here.
Yeah.
Our boy,
Pundits,
Paddy Miller.
Boots in the seats.
He put it in the Facebook group today.
You mean amateur soccer player Paddy Miller extraordinaire?
Super amateur.
Super amateur.
Super good
I
amateur.
believe he's player manager too.
Yes.
Is he managing as well?
I think he's player manager.
Ooh.
I thought that's what I read when
All right, we're gonna have to
when I was
confirm that.
Facebook stalking him.
But he is also.
And he's one
also-
good-looking man too.
He's a very handsome man.
Yeah, very handsome man. I think he has a kid on the way, doesn't he too?
He does.
Look at me, I
Yes.
got all sorts of
Is that-
information.
so he did put that on Facebook, right?
Yes, I think so.
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
Maybe.
I knew
not.
I knew beforehand since kind of family, but you know. Anyway,
I have inside sources. I got boots on the ground.
you got boots on the ground for that. Okay.
Just for that.
I don't want to know about where that's going. He goes to a lot of these games. He's pretty much a Leeds expert. He's worried. He's worried about Jesse Marsh right now. He's worried that he might, after losing to Nottingham Forest today, he's worried it could be his last week in charge. I got to say, you got to give him another. But here's the problem.
He's doing good in the FA Cup.
He's great. He's doing good in the FA Cup. His next two league games for Leeds is Man United.
Yes.
Home and away. They played Man United twice in the span of 4 days.
Man United's not good. They just live in the past.
Man United's going to have a small issue without Casemiro and Eriksen.
Nope. They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. They're going to bring in
Sabitzer.
McTominay and Fred.
No,
That's good.
Sabitzer.
Sabitzer, yeah, he'll come in.
The new
Sabitzer,
signing.
Yeah.
See how well he did when he came out?
Agreed. There's coming into the game and then there's starting and playing 2 games. I think probably the best thing for him and for Man United is that they're missing Eriksen and Casemiro, and the next 2 opponents are Leeds.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that could happen for Man United, right? Absolutely. But Leeds just paid a large chunk of money actually to get Weston McKennie on loan, and he didn't start today, but he did come in. He came off the bench. And it looked like he was playing right wing back, right kind of.
He's been used to that position before.
Yeah, he was
and
in
Juventus
point-
has used that.
At one point, I think Schalke used him at every position except for goalkeeper. At one point.
That's
I swear-
Schalke used him
I
at
swear-
every
he did.
single
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
He
He's
played a
technical
forward.
enough.
He played out wide.
Yeah.
He played like center back, I think, for one game. He played right wing back for one game. He played everywhere for Schalke.
did.
It's like, where in the world, where on the field is Wilson McKennie playing?
Weston McKennie did today, in my opinion, quickly get up to the speed of the game.
Yeah.
In the Premiership, and as we've always said, it's the best league in the world because it's so quick and so physical. He got up to the speed really quickly, and I attribute that to playing in the World Cup and playing against teams that he played against, right? Played against England, played against the Netherlands, played against good teams that he can realize that.
Well, and he
plus-
has Champions League experience.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
it's
with
not like
Juventus. He's played some of these teams before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's playing against them occasionally, and then there's playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
I would love. It's going to be really interesting to see how he does against Man United in his next 2 games. Brendan Aronson did not get off the bench today, from what I saw.
Yeah, but he had some health issue.
He was on the bench.
No, but because he had some health issue or something.
Did he?
It was something. It was
Is
like
Is there a bug going around England? Because I know Phil Foden was sent home last night because he had an illness. Nate, you haven't been feeling good. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Aronson, Foden, Nate. Hey.
It's going around. And players all of equal caliber, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep,
No,
absolutely.
he out of the hospital Wednesday.
I did not know that.
What was it? He was in the hospital on Wednesday. I don't know if it was a flu virus or something, but it was something.
Okay.
Well, appendicitis.
He had appendicitis?
Yeah, and he made the bench today.
That's
Wow.
it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Before he went down with appendicitis, which I was unaware of, we did, our guy, Patty Miller, boots on the ground, did say that he's fallen off the pace a little bit. He said he just hasn't really, in the last couple of weeks.
Did you kind of see him at the World Cup? He wasn't as effective as we kind of hoped he would.
The
And I don't think
first
he's
part-
athletic enough.
The first 10 games in the Premiership, he was on fire. Scored some goals, did well. Now he's just fallen off a little bit. Tyler Adams seems to have continued, and he is doing very well.
He's fine. I think Aronson, his downfall is going to be his athleticism. Because if he can't keep doing what he was doing from the beginning, and people kind of read how he plays. You know, I kind of saw in the World Cup he tried to cut back and whatnot. He was like, no one was falling for that stuff. The head fakes, the shoulder drops. You know what I mean?
We've all played against that guy who's a try-hard.
Yeah.
And for the first couple of minutes, you know, you're like, holy crap, this guy's trying really hard. And then you realize, okay, he's trying really hard. He doesn't have no skill in the world.
Yeah.
Here's what we've got. I just got to use my brain.
Yeah,
You gotta
no, I
move
just
the
kick him.
ball. What?
I kick him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't kick the try-hard.
Yeah.
He's trying to kick you.
No, I kick him first.
Oh, okay.
Strike first, strike last.
Strike first.
But yeah, I mean, Weston McKennie, though, going back to him, I mean, my analysis is he's kind of very similar to Tyler Adams. I mean, he's really a double pivot 6. You know, he gets forward a little more than Tyler does, but he's not really I mean, he scored goals at Juventus, but he's not going to get you double-digit goals. He's not going to really, he's not super technical.
Right.
He defends, but he's not as hard of a defender as Tyler Adams is.
Good in the air.
He is good in the air. He is good. I don't know.
Trying to be
Like,
positive.
no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it was a pickup from Leeds, and I don't know, like, did you really, like, he's not Glick. Like, Glick could at least, like, you know, technical, could play through, was a tough defender, box to box. Like, I mean, if you're looking to replace Glick, it wasn't, like, that's not the player, you know?
We'll see how he does. He might be deployed in a different role. It's going to be interesting to see where he plays and how he plays in the Premiership. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be interesting. I think personally he went to Leeds, because his buddies there, right? Tyler Adams and Aronson are his buddies, U.S. men's national team guys.
Plus American coach.
Plus the American coach. But he didn't sign long term. It's only on loan.
Yep.
The option is there for either of them to walk away, Leeds or Weston McKennie to walk away at the end of the season. And I think he personally pushed for the loan, no permanent transfer, because I do not want to play in the championship if this team gets relegated.
Or, I mean,
Smart
you're
on
going
him.
from a Champions League team down to mid-table, possibly relegated.
Right.
I mean, everyone's going to do that.
Yeah.
Plus-
Danny Garrett on YouTube responding, Ricardo Pepi needs to get to Leeds now.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, they are in need of a guy who, because I don't
score.
think Bamford is the man.
Bamford.
They are in need of that true 9 that he could play, but he is not quite. He's not quite ready for the Premiership yet. He needs to go back to the Bundesliga and prove himself properly.
I just
first.
don't think
That would-
Weston McKennie is a top 6 EPL player. Like, he wouldn't play. I know he wants Champions Leagues. Like, I think the Bundesliga is the destination for him to
Weston
go back
McKennie
to.
is not going
Who?
to a Man
McKennie?
United,
Yeah.
a Man City, a Liverpool, or Newcastle, or anybody like that. He is a outside of the top 6 type Premiership
He's
player.
going to be like a
Leeds,
high middle table
West
guy.
Ham,
The problem
absolutely.
is I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what team he goes to.
Exactly, because
I mean,
they're so loaded in the midfield at Bayern and Dortmund.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
I guess if they lose Bellingham, maybe he can be a replacement for Bellingham. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a downgrade.
Yeah,
But-
it's definitely downgrade.
Kurt Johnson has a question. Is Nottingham's Forest Field smaller than normal? That was his
The
question.
regulation field
Is it-
Nottingham.
Well, but is it
most
smaller
of those
than
are usually.
standing?
The
Nottingham
stadium's
Forest.
not the biggest in the world, but
No.
the field's probably, that's a great question. I did not notice that off the top of my head when I was watching it. That didn't stick out to me, but there is a minimum that the Premiership
Right.
requires.
Yes, like
so
FIFA rules.
It must fit into the minimum, right?
Yeah.
But I do remember Chelsea's actually at one of the smallest fields as well.
Yeah, the stands are so close to the field.
The stands are on top of the field, so they
Yeah.
can't expand it anymore.
Yeah.
So their field is
tight.
Is tight.
Yeah.
But
That's why you got to be technical when you play at Chelsea.
That's a great question, Kurt. We should look into that.
Yeah.
And Steve's over here wishing that LCFC gets some players on loan, which I can only imagine that he means Livorno City Football Club.
Tete was really good for them.
No, I'm talking
I
about
watched
Luzon.
that game against
Too
Villa.
soon.
I'm sorry, Craig.
I will
am
say-
sorry, Craig.
I know.
He was good though. Like that was a good pickup
He
from him.
was.
And
He
did they get
was.
him on loan or was that a
I think
signing?
I think that's a permanent. Steve, I do want to say congratulations.
Yeah.
Leicester City took all 3 points
Yeah.
from Villa at Villa Park. Very entertaining game. Lots
It
of
was.
goals, right?
In the first half, too.
Lots of goals. 5 goals in the first half. Villa looked to be on the pace,
Yeah.
but they could not stop giving the ball away in the final third and gifting goals to Leicester City.
Yeah.
Bouba Kamara for Villa had his worst game in a Villa shirt. Douglas Luiz did not play well. Just poor overall. from
Victor with
Aston Villa.
the hot Google update, 105 by 71. So technically that's smaller, right?
Say that again.
He said 105 by 71.
That's a Victor
That's the
said.
smallest you can go. Yeah.
That's small though.
Yeah, that is super.
That is small.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
You got to be technical.
That helps them. That helps them keep the ball tight. If
Yeah.
you're a team like one of the big boys who likes to spread the ball around and keep the ball, that's going to help out Nottingham Forest. Now Leeds aren't exactly that team to spread the ball around and do that. They just beat them fair and square. But when the big clubs go there, yeah, that helps. Nottingham Forest.
Yes.
I do kind of want to jump to the Saturday morning early game. Arsenal versus Everton. Everton with their new coach,
Sean
Dyche. Sean Dyche, one of the first practices he ran for Everton this past
beep
week.
test.
He put the beep test in place. Mid-season beep test because he wanted to see who was in shape.
And you see what he did? He made them wear their shin guards. Like they dressed properly.
They dressed
he was like,
properly.
"This, no more BS anymore. We're
You do
doing
not
this."
mess around with Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche was out there in shorts, and I think it was like 25 degrees or something like that
Yeah.
outside. You do not mess around with Sean Dyche. He is going to have those players in shape before they know it. That is the best thing that could have happened to that club.
Does he get them out of relegation? Is it possible?
He just got Burnley relegated the other year, but he'd been there for several years.
But
so the
Everton's
boys are
not
downscaled.
Burnley.
I think the only issue, yes, they beat Arsenal 1-0.
Yeah.
They hunkered down. They beat Arsenal. They deserved all 3 points. Does he get Everton out of relegation is the question. That's a great question, Brooks. There's 2 things. He has a lack of depth in that squad.
Sure.
A lack of skill in that squad.
Yeah.
And that's number 1. Number 2, the other teams, I think this is a good thing for them. There's other teams around him. Let's take a look at the table again.
Yeah.
That I think are actually poorer than Everton.
Yeah.
I think Bournemouth are gone. Southampton are definitely gone. Leeds and West Ham, in my opinion, are the next 2. So all he's got to do is he's got to beat one of those teams.
Yeah.
He has to beat one of those teams. And I think, honestly, Sean Dyche is a better manager than Jesse Marsh, especially in the Premiership, because he's been around, he's got experience, he knows how to do this.
He's been successful in the Premier. Yeah.
I think that's going to be the downfall of Leeds because West Ham have David Moyes, who's escaped relegation before, knows what he's doing. He's been in the Premiership forever. And now Sean Dyche for Everton, been in the Premiership forever, knows what he's doing.
Yep.
I think this could be the downfall of Leeds. It's just the teams around them have better, more prepared managers. So I think Sean Dyche actually, yes, could help them find their way out. Nate, you look like you want to give the opposite answer, or you're just pondering?
Oh, I'm deep in thought. I was thinking to myself, maybe it is just that Leeds can't afford a beep test machine. They are
That might be
expensive.
it. You know what? They spent all their money on Weston McKinney and the type.
I mean, it's only an app on your phone. I mean, it's not too bad.
Is it?
Oh, wait,
You can download
an app?
Yeah, you can have a beep test app in your phone. Yeah.
What's an app?
Application.
Application.
Here's a funny thing. I was actually at I was actually at a practice a couple of weeks back at the local facility, and one of the coaches who coaches a U14, a U15, and a U16 girls team was running the beep
Was
test.
it Victor's? Because he just chimed in.
Yes.
The beep test was
Yes.
the first time I saw this was at my daughter's practice.
Oh, Victor's never
Yes.
done a beep test, huh?
Victor's never done a beep test. No,
Ah.
he wouldn't. Sorry, Victor, you would not pass the beep test. His daughter passed the beep test, but here's
Good for
the thing.
her. That's tough.
I actually pulled the coach aside and I said, "What? I haven't seen this in years. What's going on here?" And I go, "It's funny because I know 1 or 2 Premiership teams run it, but I haven't seen this in this country in probably a decade
Usually
now."
colleges do this.
And she said to me, "These girls are getting scouted by colleges that run the beep test.
Yeah.
I
They
want
know
to
the number.
prepare them."
Yeah.
That this, my mind was blown. I have so much respect for this coach already, and instantly had more respect for her.
Yeah.
The other side of that Everton-Liverpool game, which Everton won 1-0, is Arsenal. Arsenal currently sit 5 points atop the Premiership. They're in number 1, 5 points ahead of Man City.
Didn't Jorginho start that game? Or did he come off the bench?
I don't know. Well, I need to
thought
look
he
into
did.
that. It's not ringing a bell. I've watched so many games since then. Look that up.
Yeah,
please.
look that up.
Here's the thing. We've all been waiting for the drop. We've all been waiting for Arsenal to finally drop and, tumble back down the table. Is this the start of it?
And City did the same thing as well.
What?
Then
Yeah,
City
that's the thing. They opened the door, and Man City
Yeah.
couldn't even take the opportunity.
Yeah.
They go ahead and lose, right? As we talked about to Tottenham.
Yep.
He came off the bench, Jorginho.
But here's the thing. We've all been waiting for Arsenal, as they've done for the last 20 years, to just they start out strong, they win games, they climb the table, they're in first or second, and then all of a sudden they drop down. Is this? I'm going to say no. I think this is a different Arsenal team this year.
I'm going to go no.
Okay. You think they're gonna? Do you think? I'm going to ask you a tough question. Do they win the Premiership, Nate?
Yeah, I do. I think they
Yeah,
win it this year.
you do. Okay. Brooks. I mean, Man City is there, but they've
know.
dropped points as well, as they did this
They
weekend.
have, and I didn't realize they've never won at Tottenham's new stadium, by the way. Do you know that?
I know. Man City?
Yeah.
I know. That's crazy, is
Yeah.
it not? 4 times, I believe.
5, I think, now.
You're right. It is now 5. You're right.
Yeah.
Pep has been there 5 times and has never beaten them.
So I will say I think Arsenal can hold on to this just because I think just Man City's just old right now. Like, they're just
They
kind
look stale, do they
Yeah.
not? They look stale.
There's too many same players around, not enough guys mixing in. I think Arsenal can hold on and win this one, to be honest with you. So I'll say they do. They win the Premier League.
I think we got some consensus here, boys. This might be the first time all 3 of us have agreed on anything.
No.
I don't know.
Never.
I don't know.
We all agreed that Klinsmann was a great manager.
Yeah, we definitely did not.
And that
agree
credit
with
loves Man United.
Yep.
The children at the boys at the children's table over there agreed that.
Hey,
I
Greg,
did
just
not.
out of curiosity.
And Birmingham
Nope.
City.
Ooh, Birmingham City can burn.
Off topic.
Burn in hell.
What is it that I have to do to I don't need you to like Man United. I don't need
Like
you to be
Man United?
No, hold on.
No.
You let me finish. I said I don't need you to like Man United. But what is it that I have to do on the behalf of United fans just to have them not live so much in your head and villainously hate them? Is it a gift? Can we get you a
That's
gift?
funny. That's
Should
funny
I
you
get you
should
some
say that.
chocolate? Or
Why don't we jump to that game right now?
I figured that's a good segue.
Let's jump into that.
But can
that
we
United
But
Palace
what is
game.
it? Do we just? Where did United hurt you?
Here's
Can
the
you point
thing.
to me on the dowel where United hurts you?
I
On the
will say,
timeline
Yeah,
of his life.
The
Can
back
you tell us the story?
back in the day when
Was there a good defender that kicked you all the time and he wore a Man United jersey and then that's why you hate them now so much?
I will tell you why I hate Man United so much.
Go.
Because of events that happened this weekend.
Ah.
Right?
Okay.
Right? Every single, and trust me, every fan of every club that they support has the tinted glasses on. I get it. Do I have claret?
Again, I don't.
Do I have
VJ
Villa
goes.
tinted glasses? Absolutely. Why am I getting messages from people, and I see on the Facebook group, the We Are Soccer Facebook group, that no way should Casemiro have been red carded. No way should he be held to 3-game suspension. He didn't deserve that. Why does the Football Association and all the referees hate Man United?
So you're the
I mean,
only.
I'm just,
you're
this
the
for me
only
is
per-
just laughter.
I'm in a Red Devils chat.
Yep.
And not one person said that. Not
Did,
one person.
did you read anything on the Facebook group this week?
Are they in?
I didn't
I guess they're not
because-
in your Red Devils chat, those
No,
people.
they're not. But I have the Detroit Red Devils. Not one person, not a single person in that chat said it should
Understood.
have been a red card.
So-
now, what they said though is that it shouldn't be a 3-game ban.
It shouldn't?
Should not.
Really?
Why not?
Well, I think intent has something to do with it. Because the big thing was the picture that came out seconds after.
Oh,
where,
hold on. We should show this picture, right?
Yeah.
You mean that one where he's clearly got both thumbs in front of his neck and
Do you see-
holding.
well,
and
the
Will
other
Hughes
angle-
is like,
hold on.
Now he wasn't
So
squeezing.
The
I
other
get
angle
that.
has the collar in his hand,
At one
and then
point,
can
yes,
you
he
go
has
to the
his
and then
jersey.
can you go to the one that instantly is seconds after that I sent to you, or did you opt not to put that one in there?
Well, hold on. I will.
And you know what I'm talking about.
I saw it.
because
I thought-
seconds after he's embracing him, and both have smiles on their face.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now,
they
is it a
both
red
have
card?
smiles on their faces.
Is it a red card? Yes, it absolutely is a red card. But I don't think the intent to choke a guy was there. He goes into a scrimmage, skirmish,
Yep.
to break it up. This guy comes running at him, and he tried to hold him back. Now you go, oh, well, you got, all right, I'm sorry. When you're surrounded by like 10, 15 dudes, and it's fight or flight, you're not going to be like, all right, let me make sure I gently place my hand in the appropriate position. No. Now, did he put his hands on him? Yeah. Should it be a red? Yeah. The big question is whether or not it should be 3 versus 2. No one is trying to say take away the red card in general.
Yeah.
I definitely.
I'm just surprised they
saw-
just don't do like automatic. It's 2 or 3. They have the debate between 2. I don't get what the debate is between 2 and 3.
the intent to hurt someone. Now,
And I don't think there was intent there to hurt
Now,
someone.
okay.
I think he was creating distance so he didn't get his ass kicked because some player was coming at him in a big pile.
Understood. Now, there's also like the João Felix tackle. He went
Studs up.
Went studs
Yeah.
up, and as he goes in, he does this, and then he bends his leg back because he realizes what's happening.
That wasn't
But
three
he's
match.
also caught the guy, and it's like, well, that was stupid. That's definitely a red card. Absolutely.
Yep.
Did he intend to break the guy's leg?
No.
He didn't break his leg.
That's
Actually,
a-
the
but
player
that's a
got
reckless-
up. The
that's a-
player got up
that's a
after
reckless
about 30
play.
seconds.
That's a reckless play.
It is, yeah.
And so you could go. So you
So
could.
is
Oh, yeah,
putting
what-
your hands on someone.
What happened to Erickson a week ago?
Oh no! I 100% agree. That should be retroactively looked at and should. But here's the thing:
Oh, okay.
the rule is once it's looked at in the game and a card is given,
Yeah.
a yellow card or red card, it can't be retroactively changed.
Phil
Yes,
York
correct.
has a really good, and I agree with this. Choking applies a person can't breathe. That was not the case here.
You are not allowed to, and there was no choking.
No.
There was no choking.
No. He
Clearly,
had him by the collar.
he was fine. Now he did grab at one point his
Yeah,
Collar.
he was
collar.
trying to hold a guy back
Yeah,
that was coming.
But then
at
he
him.
did have the thumbs in front, right? So
I
but
just
here's the
think hands don't have to go near the face to stop
It should-
someone.
and
that's my thing is
that
hands
right there-
don't have to go near
that right
the
there
face
is
or
the
throat.
rule.
So,
That's the rule. You're
again,
not allowed to touch
yeah.
someone's face
Again,
or neck.
I
Yeah.
am not
That's clear rule.
debating.
No, I
whether
know.
it
I
not
agree.
should have been a red card.
I agree.
I agree with that point.
Yeah.
I'm saying the intent to choke or do bodily
that
harm
was not
was
there.
not there.
Correct.
And therefore, it should be
It's a red.
reduced to a 2-match ban instead of a 3.
But and the
That's
tough
it.
part of the interpretation is the FA of what do they interpret
But
it.
they can
what are
go
they
look
interpreting
at
it
that
as?
stuff, and that's what everyone's saying is look at it now.
Are there bylaws that interpret what a I guess that's what I asked thing earlier in our group text. There are bylaws that interpret what how severe
Yeah.
would be a 3-game suspension versus a 2.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's clear rules.
Is
for
it only
They will-
intent or is it more than that?
No, there's more than that. I mean, if bodily danger and harm.
Yeah.
Now, I agree 100%. Was he just holding him off?
Yeah.
And
And then it
choking
looks
him?
like-
No, he wasn't.
and then
just
the-
He was
holding him
not,
off.
yeah.
And then
He
the
was doing
next
this.
picture that I sent to you guys,
they were
he
hugging
dropped it
and
and they were
laughing.
hugging out,
Yeah.
and he had a smile on his face, and that's the point.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Nate, you and I are on the exact same page.
There wasn't intent there.
Except for there's no intent, but there's also no intent on certain tackles where you go in, suds up, and you're like,
Okay,
oh, shoot.
yeah, but
you
that's
still caught him.
that's a reckless play. That's a lot different. That's one. That's not. This was not a play in
We're
the
talking
game.
about intent. I mean,
This was not a play in the game, though.
so it's funny a lot. And then I heard one or two people on the Facebook, or saw one or two people. Well, the schlup who ran into Anthony
Okay.
should have been given a red card.
I mean,
there was just a coming together.
Now,
There was a yellow card.
Now you're just
That's
going
great.
tit for tat, and I
Yeah,
don't like that.
and I was like,
I don't
nah.
care about the other stuff
Agreed.
going on, whatever. What I'm purely talking about is the intent with Casemiro. The pictures that were shown afterwards where it wasn't. These guys were fine. Clearly, the guy came at him and he tried to hold him off, and probably accidentally got that high. He probably wasn't intending to, and that's why you see him seconds later holding each other and having a laugh.
So
And I think that should be looked into, and I think it still is a red. I think it's not okay to overturn the whole thing. I'm just saying I don't see it as a 3-match ban. I see it as a 2.
yeah. So I have some comments on the from YouTube here. Danny Garrett. Again, he said, embracing with both hands around your neck is a crazy kind of hug, but he said, it's okay, Nate is still the GOAT. And then he also said, though, you can't legislate intent, you got to penalize the action period.
Well, but he did get penalized for the action.
True.
I'm saying yes.
True.
Penalize him for the action.
How severe is the penalty? That's the
what
question.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Which is normally a direct red is a 3-match ban.
Right, but
usually
you've
no matter
had
what.
other red cards in similar situations that do get looked at.
Yeah, they get reduced.
And they get reduced from 3 to 2.
Correct.
And that's all that I'm saying.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, when you're in a pile of people and someone's coming at you and you just, go to grab out, like to stop them from, I don't know, protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm going to agree with you again, Nate, but it is awkward the way he put his hands around his neck. It just looks
But everyone's
awkward, does it not?
microframing shit. And this is what always drives me nuts. This drives me nuts with everything. Well, if I was in that situation, I would have done this. Well, if I was... Your adrenaline is to the max. There's shit flying around you everywhere. Your thought process when it's fight or flight like that is not, hey, let me make sure I pinpoint my arms in such a position that I won't get... No, you're protecting yourself. You don't know what's going to happen.
But and listen, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in skirmishes on a soccer field. And people have come at me and the first thing you do is this. You put your hands up.
And that's what he looked like he was trying to do. He just went too high by accident.
But that is a weird action to hold someone back. I personally have had people come at me.
It was half a second that was like that.
You push. You just push.
Yeah.
You got to know as a soccer player, hands to face, whether it's holding someone's face away, that could be construed as a slap or a punch or anything. So hands always down.
Well, let's be clear on what I'm saying and what I've been hearing. Mm-hmm. It's a red card.
Yep.
It's People think it should be a 2-match ban, not a 3-match ban. Not that they shouldn't get a card at all.
Okay,
sure.
Now, back to your original question of why I hate United is because I've had several people in our group or message me say, the FA is against us or that should never been a red card, and I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the laws of the game.
Well,
if you put your hands on someone, it's a red card. I don't know what we're arguing about
scientifically proven, and I'm not saying it's for United, but scientifically proven there is bias that happens with refs. It happens all the time. If you win more, you tend to get away with less, and if you lose more, you tend to get called for more.
Or if you got a superstar player like the NBA.
That's life.
There's bias in every part of.
Here's where I go. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
Right. The reality is, even if you got a 3-match ban, you're talking Leeds,
2 Leeds games and a Leicester match. That's what they're going to miss.
And with Barcelona
game.
sprinkled in the middle there, so chances, which I believe he could play for against Barcelona. So he was going to get rested in those series of 5 games anyway, somewhere. Yeah. I mean, for sure.
So Man United's next 2 league games: Leeds home, Leeds away. Barcelona sprinkled in there, Leicester, and then another Barcelona match. And those Barcelona games are Europa, which kicks back up here in the next 2 weeks. So that's going to be fun. Champions League and Europa kicks back up. So, boys, we get lots of soccer. We got lots of big matches.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to play Dortmund right now.
Yeah, I know. How awesome was that to see Sebastian Haller come back and score a goal on World Cancer Day as well.
You know him?
Oh my
he was
gosh,
diagnosed
so awesome.
with cancer the same time that Pogba got injured and was traded. And
Pogba hasn't played since.
Yeah, Pogba hasn't played since, and Haller's back scoring goals.
Where does he play for Juventus, right?
And come back and scored goals.
Yeah. That's his second one, too.
Gio Reyna also scoring again.
It's a good goal.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Mr.
What
you know
national
what? The U.S.
team does he
men's
play?
national team should think about calling that guy up. I think he's an American.
Reyna scored. Was that Mark Tellick, whatever?
Malik Tillman keeps
Malik
scoring
Tillman.
goals for
Malik
Rangers.
Tillman. Okay, yeah.
Goals every game for Rangers.
Left out.
And Jordan Pifok.
Pifok,
Yeah.
left out. Yeah, guys looking
for Berlin,
good.
who were at top of the table for a
They're
for
still
a
there.
short period of time.
They're 1 point away from being in
yeah,
first.
then Bayern won and jumped back
By the way,
up.
that was the game winner.
Yeah.
No, they're only still 1 point back from Bayern.
Yeah. Gio Reyna has scored 3 goals in 67 minutes.
Yeah, 3 goals in 3 games.
He's come up with
in the last 3 games. Super sub coming off, playing very well. That is great to see. We can talk about a little bit more of the Bundesliga coming up here. I just want to make sure let's look at the table real quick for the EPL while we finish it up. Arsenal still 1 game in hand, by the way. They are a game back. Got a game in hand just like Brighton and Leeds. 50 points for Arsenal after 20 games, plus 28. Very nice goal difference. Man City, again, dropped points, had the opportunity to close that gap, still on 45. Man United, they have climbed the table in Since the World Cup has been back, they have been one of the hottest teams around Rashford, scoring goals like crazy. Cannot stop scoring goals.
I love the goal difference here. So it's plus 28, plus 32, plus 8, and then it goes to plus 22.
I know. Man United they had such a hard time at the beginning of the year. They were just leaking
it's almost
goals.
it's almost like they had a problem in the locker room and fixed the problem.
It's weird.
I know, right?
Weird.
By getting rid of one player.
Very strange.
I'll tell you this, and this is, you guys call me a homer. You can throw things at me, Craig.
I will throw things at you, Homer.
All right, thank you. Hello. So if Arteta doesn't win the league, now if he wins the league, it should go to him. If he doesn't win the league, I think Erik Ten Hag should be the manager of the year.
Sure.
For what he's had to deal with and what he's had to navigate through, he's in all 4 cups still. He's in a cup final for the Coabera, whatever, Caribou Cup, coffee.
Booze Cup, Caribou Cup, yeah.
Caribou.
I don't know. Eddie Howe with Newcastle is
You
probably.
beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Wait,
I'm going to
wait,
hold
hold on.
judgment until the way to the end of the year.
Those
Because
two-
either
I'm
Eddie Howe or
I'm just saying, if he beats, if they beat Newcastle in that cup, if they finish higher than Newcastle, which they are right now,
Sure.
if they get maybe the FA or Europa,
Yeah.
you can't deny in 1 year, that's pretty damn good. 1 year.
and
especially put on the Ronaldo asterisk, that having to navigate that.
I will say, I think because they are in all the competitions still, this could catch up with them. I don't think they have quite the squad depth that a lot of the other clubs have.
Well,
so
I
I think
think
it's going to catch up because you've got Eriksen's out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Casemiro's obviously picked up a
For
red.
3.
He's going to be out for 3 games. There's going to be someone else who picks up a red and another injury, and then you're playing guys who you definitely don't want to have a lot of minutes, like McTominay or Maguire.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see, but I don't think their depth is as bad as you think it is. Sancho's back. They do have some injuries.
Yep.
When Montreal is going to come back, he's been playing bits here. When he gets back in full swing, it'll be good.
I mean, Greenwood's definitely not playing.
Greenwood is.
He's not coming back.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To China for him, apparently.
Yeah.
That's something we can talk about at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too soon.
Yeah.
But Nate, I don't disagree.
I'm not
with
saying
you.
they're going to win the league. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah.
saying they're going to finish, if they finish top 4 and with a few trophies. That's a hell of a
Oh.
job from what they came from, especially, again, I can't
100%.
emphasize how wacky that Ronaldo situation is.
Yep.
Like I said, I want to wait to see how the season finishes, because if Eddie Howe and Newcastle finish above them, Eddie Howe for me has done just a phenomenal job. We did want to, let's just finish up looking at the table real quick. Southampton again, just at the bottom, just been poor. Bournemouth poor. Everton 3 points from Arsenal there, so they climb up to 18th. Leeds, they're going to struggle. West Ham, I think they'll find a way out. Unfortunately, they bought Danny Ings in the transfer window, and then the very first game he injures his knee, and he's out for 3 months.
My Seagulls won.
Yeah, your Seagulls won.
Late
Wolves
minute,
won.
in extra time.
Wolves won. If you think about that, beating Liverpool
I like the
3-0, that just pulls them off the bottom of the table. Leicester City took all 3 points from Aston Villa there, climbed the table. Nottingham Forest, 3 points. Now they're up to 13th. Crystal Palace up to 12th with 24. And then there's a little bit of a gap there. Villa at 11th with 28. Then you start getting into the plus goal difference in Liverpool. Liverpool, again, this is a struggle season, man. Just a struggle bus. Liverpool fans have gone quiet, and deservedly so. And then Chelsea. These are the 2 clubs, the dumpster fires of clubs right now. It's going to be fun to watch. I do think Chelsea climbed the table with all the players they've purchased. They purchase quality, man.
So,
I think they'll get into the Europa League. I don't think they're going to get into the top 4 for Champions League.
I don't know.
I think the funny part between Liverpool and Chelsea as well is, Liverpool looking to sell and find a new owner. And then also Chelsea came up with this new owner that just wants to spend left and right. So it's like ownership issues are for both teams, but in different ways, but also managerial issues as well and player issues. Just because, like I said, Klopp usually in the year 7 comes around, it's not good. Graham Potter, unfortunately, with Brighton he was good, but unfortunately can't do it with the big boys. And then just the injuries and the player selections and they're very similar, to be honest with you.
This summer is going to be a very interesting summer for managers in the Premiership. I can see several managers being given the boot. I do think Graham Potter gets the boot, especially if he doesn't get higher than 7th.
I think he's been set up to fail.
Absolutely, he has.
Which sucks.
I do think Klopp stays. I think they keep him
too.
because he's earned that right to stay. He's earned it, right? The 7-year struggle, we know he's had that in the last 2 clubs he's been. But
did he just resign a contract?
But he did.
Okay.
He did for another 3 years. He
Okay.
did. But what he's done in the past several years, he took that club from being it was a dumpster fire itself and earned the right to stay there. I think he will. I think he'll figure it out. And I think he'll sell. Sorry, Nate. I think he will sell Mo Salah this year
to PSG.
Make to PSG because that rumor is there. PSG for $80 million.
They'll pay all the money.
Sells him, gets rid of that large contract.
Yeah.
Brings in 2 or 3 good players and starts to rebuild. And I think next year is a hell of a year for Liverpool when they can get healthy and build buy some depth. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think who knows what's going on in the background there, and I'm not a Liverpool fan, and. But like I said, who knows what's going on in the background? It might not all be on him. So I think, like Craig, you said, the guy's won a Champions League. He's won the Premier League. I think he's earned another go about. Well,
they're not the Seagulls, though.
They're not the Seagulls.
They're not the Seagulls.
Definitely not the Seagulls. And Brighton Hove Albion, we'll put that table back up here again. Brighton Hove Albion up to 6.
I think was it the Manoma that scored again, the Japanese player? I think he scored the game winner at the end.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
What a great goal. What a great goal he took there.
Good.
I mean, Brighton in 6, Brentford in 7, and Fulham in 8th. 3 of those 3 teams, people thought they were going to finish probably in the bottom 5 and be struggling to possibly avoid relegation, but here we are. They're both above Chelsea, Liverpool, and Villa, who all people expected to finish in the top 10. Yeah. Tottenham holding strong in 5th. That win today really did help them climb up. Newcastle drawing. That's unfortunate for them. I expected them to pick up all the points. They tied West Ham, who badly needed points.
Yep.
But that's actually a good point for West Ham. So Newcastle, they're on 40 points.
Because David Moyes is gone, isn't he?
Say again?
Did they get rid of David Moyes?
No, he's still there.
He's still there.
They gave another week. He keeps just
it's week by week for him.
keeping on, going week by week.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we are going to take a small break in a few minutes here, but I want to get you prepared for what's coming in the second half of our show. There is some fun topics. We have a 7v7 tournament where the winner takes all, which is $1 million. $1 million is the prize. Wrexham have entered a team.
Yes.
They are coming to America. They've entered. We'll talk about this. Well, I want to talk about tournaments like that, winner take all. There's actually some other fun teams in that league or in that competition.
Craig's favorite U.S. men's national team player is running it.
Definitely. I believe he's actually putting
He's actually putting his own team.
He's got his own team in it,
but he started it too, yeah.
We'll talk about that.
A Craig Hearn type thing to do.
It is.
Let me start this tournament so I can play.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about Seattle going all the way to Morocco, losing 1-0. We'll talk about that game. We had some discussion there about the opponent they played and how good that league is that they played. We are going to talk about a 55-year-old who has now gone on loan to a second division team.
In Japan.
No. In Spain. He's gone
Spain.
on to La Liga 2, I believe. So we're also talking about the first MLS team who is valued at over $1 billion. There's actually another team or two that's valued close to that in the MLS.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys a question. You might know the answer. You probably have because it was a little bit of a discussion. If you guys know, let us know in the comments. Who in the Premiership has played the most minutes this year? Of any player for any team, who has played the most minutes in the Premiership? You guys any idea?
It's probably going to be, I'd imagine it's a goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, yeah.
Those are great guesses, boys, but you'd be wrong.
What? Center back, I bet. Has to be a center back.
I'm pretty surprised.
Who has not come off the field.
Pretty surprised it's not a goalkeeper.
Guys, if you know who it is, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let us know who you think. Don't Google it. Don't go onto the Facebook group and look. Go and look. We will. Don't say it. Don't say it, Brooks. If you know, we will come back in a couple of minutes and I will let you know who the player is who's got the most minutes in the Premiership of any player this year.
It's probably some stupid Villa
We will
player.
be right back. Our Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
Club America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Ugh.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
Change tempo, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Inside on touch, play, see it, yes.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you were able to get a drink, get some chips, I don't know, whatever you're drinking. I know Mike B usually sits down with a whiskey and watches the show. I got something nice and nifty in here. The boys at the kids' table have something nifty. Brooks is drinking chocolate milk again. Yes, because that's what he does. He's a full-grown child who drinks chocolate milk.
Well, you bought that for me, so I have to drink it.
I did buy chocolate milk.
True, it'd be
Yeah.
rude if he didn't.
Exactly.
This is true.
And it's not just the bottle, people. It's like the full-on quart of it. So I
Hey,
just
man.
broke it up and just drank some before we started.
Take care of my people.
Yeah.
All right, before we left for break, I asked everybody if they know the player who has played the most minutes in the Premiership this year. The boys at the kids' table did not get the answer correct, but I believe Mr. Phil York did.
Yes.
Did anybody else get that? Did anybody else chime in? No? The correct answer is 35-year-old U.S. men's national team and Fulham captain and center back, Mr. Tim Ream. Tim Ream has played every single minute for Fulham this year and has been a freaking rock. Dude saved one off the goal line this past week against Chelsea. I think that was on the Friday game. Dude's on fire. Dude is on fire. He seems to be getting better at the age of 35. He's a better player now than he was at 25, which is hard to believe. And I really wish he was a little bit younger playing this well because we could have him for another World Cup, but it is what it is. There's no way he's making the U.S. men's national team for the World Cup in 2026. Tim Ream, stud. I mean, we got to be proud of him, right? Did we call him? I think Nate and I said he was not going to make the squad because of Greg Berhalter's kind of thing against him, and Brooks called it.
I said he should.
I think correct. We both
said he should,
Yes.
but because Berhalter wasn't playing him or whatever because of some weird, his philosophy, I said he probably would get left out.
Correct.
But there we go. Brooks called it and said he would make it, should make it, and he did. Nate and I said he should make it, but won't, and we were wrong. But he did make it, and he played well. Thought he played well in the World Cup. Probably one of our better players. All right, one of the segments we do every week here at We Are Soccer is we like to do the Team of the Week. So the We Are Soccer and Michigan Soccer Central Team of the Week. This week is this young team, the Michigan Jaguars Academy U17 MLS Next Team. These guys, let me get to my notes here. There we go. The Jaguars Academy U17 MLS Next Boys team picked up a 3-3 road draw at the Pro Academy Columbus Crew. The first time the Crew U17 team has dropped points this regular season. They had previously 8 wins, no losses, no ties. The Jags had a few U16s playing up as well due to some injuries, including Ren Sylvester, who scored a goal. So a U16 team player playing on the U17 team.
Yeah.
This team is legit, from what I understand, man. So congratulations to this team here.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Little fun fact about Ren. Do you know who he played with before he came to the Jags?
I have no idea.
Michigan Tigers. And you know who he played with at Michigan Tigers?
I do not know. Please tell us.
You interviewed her.
Oh, wait. Chloe?
Yes, Chloe Ricketts. Yes. So both teammates are now with the Michigan Jaguars.
Nice. Yes. Chloe Ricketts playing with Michigan Jags, but also at the Washington Spirit on a preseason training. She may make the team out there. I posted a picture of her the other day. I was lucky enough to have my picture taken with her at Aaron Bird's training session for Next Level Training. And I tell you what, man, my wife was like, wow, that girl, she's really small. I said, she is small, but guess what? She is mighty, man. She is one hell of a player. She is going to make that Washington Spirit NWSL team. Yeah. Guarantee it. She is going to go play pro, and she is going to be a baller. She's 15. Watch out for her in the next 5 years. That girl is going to be playing for the U.S. women's national team. She is a baller.
Yeah. One more thing. We had someone nominate a person, not a team, but Kirk Johnson nominated. Just wanted to have us give a shout out to Tyler Dimmick, who is a 16-year-old. He has his grassroots license, and he coaches 2 teams at Thundercats.
Wow.
And Kirk said, talking with the Marysville city officials about getting an indoor facility out there in Marysville, which would be huge for that area out there. So much appreciated. Kirk, thank you for the shout out and letting us know. And, always happy to, talk about people that are doing great things in their community with the soccer. So
16 years old, and he's coaching teams. He's looking to set up facilities. And he's a baller.
Yes.
Man,
awesome. I wish I was that ambitious at 16. I think I was just playing video games.
Hell, I
Don't
wish
you still play video games?
I was that ambitious now. Awesome. Kurt, thank you for the nomination, and awesome. If you guys have a team that you would like to nominate for Team of the Week, please send it over to us or to Michigan Soccer Central. We love to feature teams every week. And let us know who deserves to be the Team of the Week next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The MLS has not started yet. The MLS is still in preseason. A lot of those players went back about 2 weeks ago. They're in preseason training. They're getting up to speed. They're playing some friendlies here and there, not full matches. A lot of the teams from, we'll call it the northern cold states, have traveled down south or out west to get match fit and get ready. One team, though, the Seattle Sounders, headed out to the Club World Cup, where they faced Al Ahly last night in Morocco. Al Ahly plays in the Egyptian Premier League. Yeah, I got to be honest, I've heard of it, never really watched it, don't care too much for it, but Al Ahly has never finished outside of the top 2 spots in that league in the last 30 years, which is forever. Clearly a good team, clearly got ballers on that team. They played in Morocco against the Seattle Sounders. It was an entertaining game, guys. I know we all watched it or parts of it. Seattle did okay. Again, it really showed that it's their first game this year, real first competitive game. They're just coming back from off-season. Al Ahly, again, in the middle of their season, they've been playing. They're playing very well. It showed. I think towards the end of the game, Al Ahly started to take it to Seattle. And unfortunately for Seattle, a deflected shot by Al Ahly went in the back of the net. It just was one of those games. Brooks, what was your thoughts on the game, man? I mean, I know they started strong, but didn't end as well as we'd hoped. We were hoping for a win because the winner of that game, Al Ahly now, who won that game, goes on to play Real Madrid.
Yes.
How fun would that have been to watch a MLS team against Real Madrid?
It would have been nice. I mean, listen, that's Seattle team. I think they played pretty well, just considering how many, 2 preseason games against Hammurabi and then Wolfsburg. Mm-hmm. And then starting a little, obviously, with preseason. But I think that's, as good as you probably saw them. They lost a lot of guys. I mean, they didn't bring back Will Bruin, who's now on trial with Austin FC. So they kind of really didn't have any depth to bring off the bench, to be honest with you, by the time they needed guys late in the game to kind of get forward or kind of something to change the momentum a bit in the final third. I thought they had chances in the first half definitely to score. I think, Ladero and, off one of the volleys off a deflected free kick, and then Rusnak did have a good opportunity with his left foot that he shanked really wide of the goal. But Al Ahly didn't really get a lot of scoring chances in the first half, to be honest. But, it's just... There's times, listen, Ryan Schmetzer's done a fantastic job with the Seattle Sounders. I just think there's been times when it's not the sexiest of soccer, and it's not Steve Trundle or Bob Bradley, you know what I mean, that wants to play very Spanish-esque, possession, right. 1-2 touch, creative. I think my point goes back to Jordan Morris is not an out-and-out winger, or he is, but he's not good in tight spaces. I think he was the most effective when he was running diagonally across and he was getting in behind the Al Ahly defense. But you had guys, Christian Roldan tracking guys down. And I think Ladero was all right. He wasn't the Nico Ladero we've seen for a very long time since he came in MLS. Rui Diaz was really not really effective in this game either, and he's really kind of their goal scorer.
It looked like Seattle, just like we said, they're off the pace a little bit. It's their first real game type thing. They've just come back off the offseason. They're still getting ready for the season, their regular season. It might be, Nate, I'd like your thoughts on this. Might be a blessing in disguise that Seattle did not win. They only lost 1-0, so they showed face. They were. They showed that they could hold up with an okay opponent, but it might be a blessing in disguise that they lost because I got a feeling Real Madrid will absolutely murder Al Ahly and will have absolutely murdered Seattle. It's just, sorry, Real Madrid are, Champions League.
I mean, look at all the depth.
Champions League winners and have all the depth. They're in the middle of their season. They're playing okay. Yeah. They play a team like one of these two teams. They're going to win 4, 5, 6-0. It could be. Yeah. Might be a blessing in disguise. Yeah.
I don't use excuses when I lose. You're either the better team or you're not.
Yeah, I think the better team won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shitty or it sucks for MLS, I think, because they had a chance here to kind of show the world, hey, maybe we're not Madrid, but we're definitely better than these guys. And
well, I'm not saying the Egyptian League's the greatest thing in the world, but they weren't a terrible team for me, Al Ahly.
How many guys do you see go transfer to the Egyptian League if you're not Ronaldo?
Most Salah transfer from the Egyptian League.
No, two into the.
Oh, well, it's not one of those leagues. It's one you're going to start there as a young player and you're going to transfer out.
You see MLS is starting to pick up players from Europe. They're starting to transfer into MLS.
Yeah.
So that's where I see it as
this Seattle team, to be fair, I think is also older. They have younger players. If you kind of look off the bench, I mean, if you want to go down the bench, I mean, they did buy a bear from NYCFC as another striker. But really, the depth they have, I mean, Kellen Rose, kind of a most veteran. Daniel Leyva, an academy kid. Dylan Tevez, an academy kid. Yep. Bringing 2 keepers was probably an issue. They probably didn't need to bring 2 keepers, to be honest with you.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to be anywhere across the world with only one goalkeeper.
Nah. I mean Freddie
your goalkeeper. How old is the starting goalkeeper?
Stefan Frei.
Stefan Frei?
In his 30s.
I think I want to say he's 37.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's 37. Let's just say we're in a training session and he goes down with a quad injury.
Sure.
And then you're kind of screwed because you're halfway around the world, right? But I also think Nate is helping your argument with saying that the MLS is a better league than what most people give credit for. So I think Nate is absolutely 100%. Helping your argument by saying a lot of people transfer into the MLS and they do not transfer into the Egyptian League.
Sure, fair enough.
But when you look at this, it doesn't look good. That's my point. And I would say, hopefully they're back here again next year.
Yeah, or there's Seattle, whoever, another MLS team. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They're actually expanding the Club World Cup, so more CONCACAF teams will get in.
I want to see MLS continually win. The CONCACAF Champions League.
Yep.
And be dominant over the Mexico teams.
Yeah.
But basically, I want to dominate the surrounding communities constantly.
Mexico and Canada.
Yes, nationally.
And the Caribbeans and all those places.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's to me. It's like you need to. Yeah, it's nice that they did it once, but don't show that it's a one-off.
No, that's fair. I mean, and I'm just going out to this roster again. I mean, you have Double Air, Ethan Double Air, another young academy player. Ja Paulo did get in, defensive mid, but you can see as there were a lot of mids that really were defensive and connecting. They didn't really have much that'll give in the final third, and they really didn't have, besides Herrera, they didn't really have another guy in Montero, the 2 guys in their veterans,
right,
that they could really bring in to score goals. So, and again, I don't know why they let Will Bruin go, but, Seattle, I think, probably has some shopping to do here in the summer transfer window and to bring in players. But it's just see how Brian Schmetzer lines them up. I'd say this one guy that played at University of Michigan that did pretty well, that's from the Sounders Academy, was Jackson Reagan. I thought he did very well in the game, actually. I thought he was very assertive and aggressive and dominant in the air, very much how he was at the University of Michigan. Played through a lot, made a few mistakes breaking lines, and misjudged one of the late aerial balls in the game that almost led to a goal. But, again, I agree with Nate. I want them to win, and it was probably disappointing that, honestly, they probably should have with the amount of chances they had in the first half.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It sucks. Let's continue with MLS for a minute or two here. LAFC, $1 billion. They have been rated at $1 billion. That's a lot of money. That's their worth. There was, I believe, 3 other MLS teams that were ranked in there. Brooks, excuse me.
Do you have that graphic?
I don't have that on me right now at the moment. NYFC was ranked in there. I think they're like 4th, 5th, or something like that. At 6, it says they were worth $650 million. And DJ on the group said, well, that's crazy because they don't actually have a stadium. That is, it's kind of nutty, isn't it? Inter Miami, I believe, was 8th or 9th at 500 or 600 million. They do have a stadium. They do. I think that club will, in a couple of years, be worth close to $1 billion as well.
Sure.
Now, it's also interesting because you and I were talking about this before the show. These clubs are worth over $500 million, close to $500 million or more, and LAFC worth $1 billion. But they don't make money every year. They make money off of franchise fees that are coming in. How else do they make money? How are these clubs? How are they valued so high? Do we know?
I think it's the expansion fees you're paying nowadays. Okay, so here's the list. So I'll read it down here.
Yeah, go for it, please.
LAFC $1 billion, LA Galaxy $925 million, Atlanta United $850 million, NYCFC $800 million, DC United $700 million, Toronto FC $690 million, Austin FC $680 million, Seattle Sounders $660 million, Portland Timbers $650 million, and Charlotte FC $625 million. So recent expansion clubs, Austin, Charlotte.
How is Charlotte on the list? Just 1 year into the MLS.
Well, I mean, you're paying almost a $500,000 expansion fee. I mean, it's just, that's
nice.
what's driving the value, are the expansion fees and everything you're paying to go in there. And also, don't forget, they're probably valued a little more too because there's no relegation.
They don't even have their own stadium. They're playing in the
They're playing the Panthers football stadium,
Yeah,
so of the top 10 teams that don't play in a soccer-specific stadium, so it's Charlotte, Seattle. I mean, the new Atlanta United Stadium was built for soccer/football, but they share it with the Falcons.
Yeah.
And then NYCFC is going to get their own stadium at some point.
It's in the process of being built until like 2026 or something like that, right?
Correct. But everyone else in this, and Portland has a makeshift one. It's their own stadium, but it was a baseball stadium beforehand.
Right.
But
So you can absolutely see why American business owners want to go over to the Premiership and buy a Bournemouth type team, right?
It's a lot less.
Bought for 125 million pounds.
Yep.
A hell of a lot less than buying a team here and paying an expansion fee, or growing a team here. And the expansion fee is about 300 million at the moment. The minimum, it's going to go up every year from here on out. You can absolutely see why these businessmen are like, hey, I'm just going to go over to the best league in the world, or to one of the other leagues, La Liga 2. We've had Venezia in Serie A zoned by an American.
Sassuolo.
Sassuolo, I mean, those, buy a team there for tens of millions or even 100 to 200 million. You're still saving money. So it's crazy, the valuations of these teams. And I think you were saying, Brooks, that they bring in 10 to 15 million a year.
Some do. Some bring in that much. The ones that make money,
when you're paying almost $1 billion, a couple hundred million for the clean.
When I was listening to Jason Davis on United States of Soccer, that's what he was saying is, some of the teams that make revenue only bring 10 to 15, 20 million. Some just break even, and there are still some that are losing money. So, listen, I think also the new TV contract with Apple TV, I think that really increased the evaluations for a lot of these teams. Just how much excess money that, that contract is, it went from like 70, 80, 90 million to 250 million. You know what I mean? Right. That's a lot of money, like you've increased.
So yes, if everybody's aware, obviously Apple TV now own the rights to MLS. They signed up. I know. Boo. I mean, trust me, I really like Apple TV. I like the content they have. I pay for Apple TV.
It's because you don't like Ted Lasso, okay?
No, it's just I hate everything spread across various different streaming networks.
Well, I know. That's the way the world.
They were talking about EPL. Maybe like Apple TV may try to bid for the EPL.
Well, I believe it. They will. Yeah.
They have so much extra cash flow. Apple does. Like they have the money to do it. They have, like, some of these tech companies, like Amazon, Apple TV, that have their own streaming stuff. They have the extra cash flow to do this.
They do.
So it makes it interesting that now, it sucks for all of us because, all the live stream stuff we have to sign up for and whatnot. But, I think eventually at one point, hopefully, is that, some leagues will just be like, this is what they are. Yeah. They're going to be on these ones. This one's going to be on this one. You only have to subscribe to like 2 of them.
I have Apple TV. I've enjoyed a lot of their content. One, Ted Lasso, we know. There's a lot of other good shows I like on there. do I now have to go and also pay another $125 just to get the league pass? Is it?
I think there's a discount right now if you do that. I think it's like $75.
Just to answer your question. Yep,
I'm
buddy.
gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
It's not good for the sport.
You think
the
it's not
diversity?
good for the sport of soccer? It's not good for the MLS.
Or
Yes.
just sports in general.
Yeah, I mean, if you're there and you got to pay a league pass and this and that in order to get it, and it's spreading
I mean,
things
you're
out.
not wrong because I was getting it for free last year when I
Yeah.
had ESPN right on my cable.
And you had
I was playing
ESPN
cable, which was
probably because you had
$100
different
a
stuff that
month.
you're already getting.
But also a lot of people are cutting cable now, right? They're cutting the cord,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're paying for the streaming services that they want. So now it's more dedicated. So if I cut the cord, I'm not going to be able to get ESPN right for free. I got to pay for that somehow.
No, actually,
As
if you
I was
get the
doing
Disney
last year.
bundle, it is free.
The bundle,
Disney
yeah.
bundle. But I was paying for that. So now I can't. I mean, what sports fan's going to give up ESPN and then?
No, what sports is fan going to give up FA Cup and Corbella
You're
Cup?
not. You're not. Yeah.
You know,
so now
to
you
go
just
get
got to
that.
have another. It's unfortunate, but I see this happening a lot more for a lot of our sports. You know?
It is, and I mean,
This
listen,
is a test, by the way.
It
We
is.
we know why Apple bought the MLS because ultimately what they really want is the NFL. So what
Or
they've
the
done is
Premier League, yeah.
they've bought the MLS.
I think
and
they
said,
want the Premier League as well.
Well, I think they want the Premier League, but I've read some business magazines that said ultimately what they really want is the NFL.
NFL.
So what they're doing is they're buying the MLS, which is probably the cheapest league they can buy at the moment
Yeah.
in the top 4 leagues.
And it helps
Hockey
MLS
don't
because a
count.
lot of people use Apple products,
so they're,
right?
They're putting the money into MLS. They're testing it. They're seeing how many people are going to buy in, what the cost, what the break cost is. They're going to try some different things, and then in 2 to 3 years,
Yeah.
once they figure it all out, bingo,
Yeah.
$1 billion to $2 billion or more is what they're going to be bidding on for the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I think
That's where we're at with this league right now.
at the end of the day, when you look at all the live streams, who's going to survive? I think it's going to be, in my opinion, I think it'll be Apple. It's going to be Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
If Netflix is so late in the game, I don't know if they're ever going to do live stream because they're testing out like not NASCAR, but like IndyCar or whatever.
Have they been testing? Has Netflix tried live
They're,
streaming sports?
they want to. They're going to do it on
Okay.
YouTube first, and then they're actually going to put it on their platform.
They're
they have,
behind.
but they're behind. But it's going to be Apple, Amazon, and then maybe Peacock comes out a winner, or ESPN Plus maybe of those. But I think the 3. I think it'll come down to, and then the rest will just be for movies and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, it's tough. Like, these companies are trying to figure out, they have cable. Like, no one wants to do it anymore because
Right.
you pay so much for stuff you don't watch. You just want to watch what you want to watch.
I mean,
You know?
I think you're not wrong. I think the streaming services that are going to lead the way here are Apple and Amazon. Those
Yeah.
are two that got the
So
most
much
money.
cash flow.
There's so much cash.
Yeah.
They're going to lead the way, and unfortunately, I don't think Netflix is. They're like Nate said.
They can't
they're
compete.
Behind. They can't compete.
Yeah.
They're just going to be. They're going to be something for kids and the.
Oh, you like the movie person and the
movie
TV
people,
shows
the
and
TV
everything.
shows.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna need it. I'm still gonna have to buy that. I got kids.
Of course.
I'm gonna need Disney, so I'm gonna have the Disney ESPN package bundle, as Nate said.
Craig needs to watch his Disney movies.
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
Olaf. Someone's got to watch Olaf. I think.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So yeah, I mean, give it a couple years. I'm gonna have. I actually have every streaming service right now because we watch. My kids watch all. It's an
Money bags
expensive-
turned over there.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh man, it's expensive.
It is.
Streaming
you look
it
at that
out.
credit card bill and you're like, wow,
Oh,
I need
it's
all this.
expensive.
Like, can we cut 1 or 2 of them?
Yeah,
or
I mean-
downgrade to ads? Yeah.
I mean,
That's what they're doing now. They're
I don't have-
letting you
I don't have
downgrade to
YouTube.
ads.
Yeah, the downgraded version is where you have ads.
Yeah.
And the higher pay.
It's
the
like
higher
$5 or $6 cheaper.
Is you pay more money to have less ads or to have no
hey,
ads.
man, I add that stuff.
You what?
I do the ads.
I do the ads. Yeah. My kids the other week, we were watching something on Hulu. They're like, "Why does the show keep stopping? Why does it do this? I don't understand. And why can't we fast forward through this?" I go, "These are commercials." I go,
It's like
"Yeah, but-
TV.
Yeah, why can't we fast forward through this?" I go, "Because on Hulu,
Yes.
the package we have, this
Correct.
you have to watch the commercials." They were like, "What are commercials?" I went,
Wow.
That's this. That is this."
Wow.
They
Kids
were
these
so
days.
confused. Yeah, kids these days.
Man, they're spoiled. With all the
I have
live
a-
stream
I
stuff,
have-
they
I
are
have a
super
travel,
spoiled.
I have a travel Roku who broke it out and plugged it into to the hotel in Frankfurt that we were staying, so we could in the morning watch cartoons, anything they wanted. It's that simple.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what we've come to, right? That's what our kids and we expect these days.
Yes.
But I think you're right. The streaming services, Apple right now they put $300 million into buying the MLS streaming rights.
They're just so much more diverse than any of these cable companies.
Yeah.
Like they try to acquire things in these communication companies, Comcast and whatnot. It's just you can't compete when everyone buys an Apple product across the world, and you have companies like countries like China where they buy so much of the Apple product, and then America. I mean, look at. I have an Apple Watch on. I have an iPhone. You have an iPhone. You have an Apple Watch and an iPhone. You have a Mac laptop.
I've got an iPhone.
I have a Mac laptop. Yeah. I mean,
there's
what?
5 products, 6 products.
Is this like $10,000 maybe between all of us? Like
Yeah,
it could
probably.
be.
Company paid
I
for
mean,
mine,
look
so
at
no.
that. Oh, did they? Ah, you're lucky. But anyways, that's to my point why Apple's just gonna, and Amazon will rule the streaming.
I do want to quickly mention one or two people asked on Twitter. I think it was on Twitter. Maybe it was on the Facebook group. Why is Nate wearing long sleeves? Nate is a little bit under the weather today. He's holding
actually
strong.
gonna bid everyone adieu and hope they have a good night. I'm gonna go and lay back in my bed and probably fall asleep and not eat food. So, see you guys.
All right, Nate. What we're gonna do is we are gonna show. Go ahead and feel better. We're gonna show the Bundesliga table here in a minute. Sorry we didn't get to it. But go ahead, Nate. Thank you for joining. He does not feel well. And,
In
trust
memory
me,
of me, you show the
2 weeks
Bundesliga.
ago, that's how I felt. And that's why we had no show because I couldn't even get out of bed. So you beat me. You're a better person
all
than me.
5 people will be really interested in the Bundesliga.
They will.
Want me to run it down? I can run it down in 2 seconds before I go. Here we go. Ready?
it.
Run it down 2 seconds real quick.
Bundesliga update.
Yeah,
Bundesliga
4 seconds. Bochum overachieved. Why? Because they wanted to screw Stuttgart. Stuttgart lost and Nate cried. That's probably why I got sick. Munich looked really good against Wolfsburg, scoring 4 goals. Dortmund looks unstoppable and hanging in there. Leipzig pooped themselves because they should have actually won, but ended up drawing and didn't get the points. And right there, Union had a late PFOC winner in order to crawl back up. Honorable mentions, Frankfurt. 3-0, looking really good.
Yeah.
Very tight race going on right there, and all those top teams are playing in the Champions League, I believe. And I wouldn't want to play some of them right now. Dortmund looks scary. Dortmund
looked good.
Really scary.
Like you said, Leipzig kind of shit the bed a little bit.
Yeah, they should have won that game.
But you know what? I think they'll find their way.
Yep.
There's some good games coming up in the next couple of weeks in the Bundesliga that we got to keep our eyes on. And as we've talked about, the Champions League's coming back, so some of those boys are going to be able to. Some of those German teams are going to knock the English teams out.
Chelsea screwed.
Chelsea's got no chance. All right, Nate, feel better, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes.
All right, we got some other fun stuff to get to. I do quickly want to remind everybody to do our friends a huge favor.
Yeah.
Soccer World, please, if you're in the Metro Detroit area, go and visit one of their 3 stores. Oh, and by the way, they are having their exclusive 50% off sale next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get there early.
Yes.
Stuff goes quick. Goes quick.
Stuff at 50% off always goes quick.
Yeah. So get there, Soccer World, 50% off sale coming up. Also, Next Level Training. Visit them online. Visit their social channels. If you follow Next Level Training on Instagram, good for you. If you don't, be sure to follow them. They put some awesome skills, tips, and tricks on there, and they have some good stuff with some, we'll call them local players here that have made it to the professional ranks. So they feature a lot of videos with those young players. That's fun to watch. And also, one of our new friends, superfanpacks.com. This is something we received this past week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our wonderful cards.
I mean, I love the logo, by the way.
Yes.
They do basketball, football, soccer, baseball, you name it. Comes in this awesome package, as you guys can see. I was lucky enough to have a pack curated for me specifically. I just want to quickly run through here. I got some just awesome cards. I am so excited about some of these cards. Jack Grealish card. Look how shiny that is. So awesome. Julian Joachim. Gareth Southgate. Yes, he is a former Villa player. He was a captain of Aston Villa for several seasons. Now the English manager. Dwight York. Yes, Dwight York played for Aston Villa before he went to Man United, for all you people who don't know. Gareth Barry. A John McGinn card. Sid Gordon Cowans. former unbelievable magician for the Villa, Stilian Petrov, and everybody's favorite shithousing goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez, Tyrone Mings, Matty Cash, marvelous Nick Kamba, Ollie Watkins, who scored the goal the other day.
Yep.
A very cool-looking Jack Grealish card, this reflection. I got to look this up. I think this is worth some money. And my favorite, I received a John McGinn card that is nice and shiny and also signed.
Scottish national team.
Yeah, Scottish national team captain.
Yeah.
And, signed card. So this is going to make its way, several of these cards will make their way up into my little cabinet up here. What are we calling this? A bookshelf? Bookshelf?
Yeah.
Again, superfanpacks.com. Visit them. They've got a lot of other stuff. Subscribe as well. Subscribe to them. They have an awesome newsletter, and you can get 10% off when you subscribe. Tell them that We Are Soccer sent you. Superfanpacks.com. You can visit the gallery. Again, they've got cards, individual cards, packs that they can curate for you, and a lot of sports memorabilia. I personally, right now, am eyeing a certain piece of memorabilia.
He's told us, but you have to wait till he buys it, folks.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Fingers crossed I can get that.
If he gets it.
We'll see if we can get that.
Yes.
I'm hoping we can make that happen. All right, so Brooks.
Yes.
I tell you all the time that I still play soccer.
Yes.
I still love to play soccer.
You do.
Victor, our good friend VJ, just chimed in and told me via text. He's like, I played for the first time in a father versus son game this weekend, and pulled my quad. Victor is the same age as me, 41, 42. Victor, I hate to let you know, but there's a 55-year-old Japanese guy who's still playing professional. He was just loaned out to a La Liga 2 team. Let me see if I can find the notes I have on this guy.
Is this your way of saying I'm available? Sign me.
Sign me. I'm available. Absolutely. Kazuyoshi Miura signs for it's a Portuguese team. Portuguese second division team Oliveirense on loan at the age of 55. Wow. Dude is 55 years old.
Wow.
And he just signed on loan to a Division 2 team in Portugal. This dude just won't quit. Ultimate until the wheels fall off, dude. There's no excuse, Brooks. There's no excuse.
Never.
Never. I mean, you're only as old as you feel.
Exactly.
Or is that what they say?
Yes.
Only as old as you look or feel.
Yes.
I feel. I played on Friday night, and I'm still feeling the effects. I feel old, man. I feel really, really old. Do we have any MLS updates this week besides Seattle Sounders? Was that the big one? I know most teams are back in. They're back in.
Yeah, I mean,
preseason. They're just any moves of note, or we'll wait till next week. You think?
Preseason, just kind of guys are getting through preseason as end of February. So it's against 20 days. So let's see. Let me look at the schedule. I think it's the 25th is when MLS the season officially kicks off. Yes, Saturday, February 25th. Nashville and New York City FC kick off at 4:30. That'll be on Fox. I think Apple TV as well. Yeah, so no, it's just the time. Everyone's playing. I think Orlando City played like FIU the other day, so they scrimmaged some of the colleges, a lot of the USL teams. I think the Crew and Pittsburgh Riverhounds had like a little private indoor scrimmage at Old Crew Stadium where they put a dome over it now, so like they can take the bubble down in the academy trains there and play there. But it was nice they didn't knock down Old Crew Stadium. They kept it and they used it as a training facility. So more to come. Obviously next week with MLS, but everyone's still trying to sign players, and college guys are still trying to make rosters, and players right now are all the guys in college and guys moving around in the league. Everyone's trialing and trying to make rosters. And I think DCFC actually just kicked off on Thursday or Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, all the players back for Detroit City FC back in town. They're getting going again for preseason here. I know they all did a big team meal this past week, and the owners talked to them, and I believe they're kicking off. And then they are heading in the next week. They are heading out to Arizona.
Yes.
So yeah, just so everybody's aware, Detroit City FC is the team we support here. They play in USL Championship. We know them very well. We know the owners very well. We know the players very well. They're one of our favorite teams to watch. But yeah, they're back in action this season in USL Championship, but season kicking off here preseason training anyway.
Yeah, actually, their first game, it's closed door, but it's February 10th. They play Oakland, and then so they start with Oakland, then they play some USL teams, and then they finish with playing Michigan State, I believe, as their last.
Keyworth closed doors as well.
Yes.
Closed doors as well.
Yep.
So Detroit City FC kicking back off. That's USL Championship. The MLS kicking back off. We talked about a 55-year-old guy going to the Portuguese second division. What else is happening?
The news I shared on the Facebook page today.
What's that?
The Gold Cup of the expansion, maybe with some European clubs besides not only CONCACAF, but I think they're going to do African. They're going to invite a couple European teams, African and CONMEBOL teams into the Gold Cup.
Are they the idea is to expand and invite European club teams?
Yes.
So do we think like Premiership team level, or what are we thinking here?
Obviously it's international level, the Gold Cup.
Oh,
yeah. So it's the Gold Cup.
Cup. Yeah.
Yes.
So all right. So are we thinking did they say who could be interested?
Yes. So let me read the article here. So we have. So it's just rumored. It's nothing final, but it says CONCACAF are already preparing for the 2025 Gold Cup and will look to make it a tournament of 24 countries. I think it's usually like 16 or 12, but they're looking to really expand it. So what we have here is it would include teams from UEFA, CONMEBOL, CAF, and AFC in Asia. And it's going to prep for 2026 World Cup, obviously.
Yep.
So candidates to partake, I guess this is rumors, it could be France, Spain, England. Like they could invite these teams to play Argentina, Brazil, Nigeria, Senegal. So that's some of the ones that possibly could arrive. But yeah, it was very typically always just CONCACAF teams, and maybe you invite a team here and there. I think I think Qatar joined the last one we had a Gold Cup
that's right.
before.
And actually, Nate went to watch one of those games, and he enjoyed watching that and met some of the Qatari players.
Yes, so this will be interesting because it's the year before the World Cup. And this is part of CONCACAF's idea to try to get the teams.
Of those European teams and African teams who think they've got or in the middle of qualifying and need to get more games in are going to want to come and play these competitive games. This is going to be a great thing.
But it's also a good thing too because CONCACAF wants to improve the quality of play. They want to grow CONCACAF, so you're not. So the U.S. and everyone aren't always playing against the smaller CONCACAF countries where it's just an easy, you're playing your B team, players with a few A team, you're playing tough games all the time in these competitions. So that's what's going to make it very interesting is that now you're improving the quality for the teams like Canada, Mexico, the United States to play against these higher level, that's why the Copa America is a good one to have the CONMEBOL teams come and play and honestly, it's going to bring in money, obviously for
it's
here.
It's going to bring more exposure to the competition, and that's probably why they really want. You bring more.
But we want our players playing
more money, better players, bigger names, more money. That's really why it's happening.
But we want our American players though to play against better competition, so it preps us for the World Cup. So that's a good move. I hope that happens. I hope obviously some of the countries I named were obviously were just examples of what it could be, but hopefully. They bring in a few, expanding it 24 will make it interesting. And listen, I'm sure games will be sold out if you get a lot of those countries coming over to play in America here, just because how diverse we are here in the United States. So it'll be great.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Another interesting, we'll call it tournament.
Yeah.
That's happening this summer. I believe Clint Dempsey has put this together with the help of another company or two.
Yes.
It's a 7v7 tournament. It costs $10,000 to enter your team. So if you've got 7, 8 buddies who are really good and you've got $10,000 laying around, get between the couch cushions, see what you can find, open up that piggy bank, go ahead and enter.
It's a selection process, by
the
way.
There is. You got to apply for it somehow. And I don't know how that works, but I think there's only 1 or 2 spots left.
Yeah. I think it's 32 teams, wasn't it?
32 teams.
Yeah.
I know there's a women's team that's got some former national team players on it.
Stu Holden's got a team. I think it's like Stu Holden and DeMarcus Beasley.
Yep, Beasley's in there.
Dempsey's got a team. Wrexham does, as we said.
Wrexham is the latest team to enter. So that's how I'd heard about this tournament. I read up about it, but now it's gained a lot of attention because Wrexham have entered. Yes, that Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney's Wrexham. We've all seen Welcome to Wrexham. Wrexham right now in their division are number 1, and
they won yesterday.
killing it. They won yesterday. They won 2-1. Yep. Their new player scored a goal. Ewan, that was a funny video, by the way, with Rob and Ryan. The guy's name is Owen, but it's spelled E-O-G-H-N or something like that, and it just looks like Egan. And Ryan's like, is it Ewan? Egan? And Rob's like, it's Owen. Pronounced Owen.
Does he help them beat Sheffield United in that rematch game?
Yeah, so that's one of their next matches coming up. No, I don't think so. I think Sheffield United going back to Sheffield United. That's going to be a Sheffield United win.
Whoever wins plays Tottenham. And holy smokes, if Tottenham have to go, is it at Tottenham?
At Tottenham. No, I think it's at Tottenham, which is a big game for Wrexham to go to play at Tottenham, right? Because they play in a stadium right now that is like 10,000.
Like a quarter of the size.
It's like 10,000 people at the Racehorse Stadium. If they go to London Stadium, Tottenham, it's 60, 70. What are they, 70,000 now?
Yeah,
they built that up to. So that's a big gate. There's a lot of money coming back to Wrexham. I don't think the Wrexham beat Sheffield United, but you never know. It'd be interesting to see. But they are this summer entering a 77. It's going to be interesting to see if they put some of their big names in there, right? Again,
Mullins going to play, and Ali
Mullen, the most famous striker in the world to not play in one of the big top leagues. Everybody knows who he is. He has to play, right? He's a star. He's this goal scorer, and Wrexham's going to want to win that $1 million. I want to know a lot of the other teams.
So I think you keep half of it, and I think it goes to charity or something. I forgot how they're doing it or whatever.
Oh, Wrexham said that, right?
Yes, Wrexham did say that.
If they win, they'll keep half
and donate it,
and donate the other
to
half.
Something within the community.
Yeah,
they
something within the Wrexham community. The other teams, I think, who are competing, as we said, Clint Dempsey has a team, Beasley has a team. Some of the is it Julie Foudy?
Heather O'Reilly and
O'Reilly.
Someone,
and
a few of the women's national team players.
Some of the U.S. some of the, we'll say, older.
Yes.
More
retired.
Experienced.
And
some of the
retired,
more experienced U.S. women's national team players are entering a team. I kind of want to go just to watch.
Go in North Carolina?
I do want to go. I think it's in July.
It is.
We might have to look into that, guys. We might have to start a GoFundMe to look at getting us to get down there, take some pictures.
Yeah. I got a buddy that lives in North Carolina. We could all stay with him.
There you go. We can meet some of the Wrexham players, get some pictures, and watch some of these games and get some videos. GoFundMe for that. Let's put that together.
Yes.
So that is going to be fun. I'm really interested in learning more about that. It's going to be fun to watch and kind of just follow along with. All right. Brooks, you'd kind of asked about this a little bit. I ran in after my game that I played this past weekend. Some of the folks who I played with, we went to the bar, had a beer. They were all asking me about these. So kind of wanted to bring these out again and show everybody.
Oh, yes.
So these are the Adidas Predator Swarovski inlaid crystal boots. We did a YouTube video. We've got a video on YouTube and Facebook of these boots. The presentation of these things is phenomenal. There is a pair of boots in here. This box is huge. I know. Watch hopefully they don't fall out as I open it up. If you guys are ready for this.
There we go.
Check that out. Check the presentation out.
Yeah, so why would you play with those? They're just for presentation.
Yeah, people keep asking me, have you played in them? When do you plan on playing them? These cost
never.
$350.
Yeah.
I'm not playing in these because I don't want to get them ruined.
Can you actually feel the crystals?
So I'm going to hold it close to the camera here.
Look at them shining.
In the Adidas stripes here.
Yeah. There, I can see them.
You can see the crystals. You see the little light shining off? Those are crystals. Now, these are awesome looking boots.
I wonder if someone's bought them and actually played with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. They were hard to get a hold of, by the way. They were really hard to get a hold of. Size 10. I do not plan on wearing these. I think I'm just going to leave them in the box.
How much money they'll be worth if you just kind of keep
the whole presentation?
Yes.
So one of the problems it is, and I don't think this has started to happen yet, but if you do play with them, when you're kicking a ball or someone's running and you kind of scrape your cleats.
Yes.
These are kind of the crystals are just glued in there.
They're going to fall out.
They're going to scrape off and fall out.
Yes.
So I really don't want that to happen. They do have the Predator ridges around all of them. One of the things I don't understand about this cleat is the crystals are cool. The green makes the crystals stand out more, but there's a camouflage.
I know the
You
camo.
don't typically associate camouflage and crystals together.
Correct.
You know, it's like a hunter going out into the woods, dressed up to camouflage to hide from everybody, but he's got like a crystal necklace and earrings and rings on, and that doesn't, they really don't go together. But several people have asked about these. So
Victor thinks you just wasted all the $350 of just pointless money.
You're not wrong, Victor. I just have a nice pair of boots that I put at the back of the bookshelf. That apparently people can't see, but we put these back in. Again, the presentation is
for sure.
I mean, maybe that's what half of the money is. The box it's pretty bulky and heavy as well.
Yes.
Especially for my small childlike arms. But yeah, there you go. And a lot of people ask me about these. A good friend of our show helped me get these. Jason Umpleby too. He's part of an Adidas club or something like that, and he helped me get them. But yeah, still cost me $350. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're going to pack it up for the week. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Do us a huge favor. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Give us a share. If you're on Facebook, do all of that. Leave a comment. Let us know what you liked. Let us know what you didn't like. Let us know your thoughts on the show. Any feedback is very much appreciated. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. We love new subscribers. Leave a comment. Give us a nice thumbs up. Appreciate it. Again, a big thank you to superfanpacks.com, to Next Level Training, and to soccerworld.net. All three good friends of the show, good friends of ours. They've done a lot for us. They do a lot to help our show get up on the air and here every week. So for me and for Nate, who had to leave a little early because he's under the weather, from Brooks and I, thank you guys for joining. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.